those are the highlights of the Budweiser Shootout that I started off with. As you see me starting in last place, taking the green flag. And some of the guys started pulling away from me there, and I lost the draft in the beginning. And I was on my own. Then I came to pit road to make the first pit stop of the race. I took only 2 tires and fuel, and I went a lap down and got back out on the racetrack as I started getting back out. Then I came back to pit road again to make my second stop of the race, and I had to pit for fuel that time to fill all of it up. Then I got back out. As I was on the apron on the racetrack, look what happens. Yeah, I tried to turn it all the way to the left and I screwed up my entrance to the racetrack. And I brought out the first caution. Then we got ready for a restart. And the green flag came back out, and once again I was by myself here as all the other drivers started pulling away from me. Scott Speed won the halftime break here on lap 25, driving for the Levine family racing team, and we started coming to pit road all together. We all took some tires and fuel all together. 4 tires or 2 tires or just fuel. And then we all started to come out of the pits after our pit stops. And then we were getting ready for the final 50 laps in the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona. And guess what? I finally caught up with those cars, and I was behind Clint Boyer, and I finally got to draft with them. I was drafting along with Josh Wise, Kurt Busch, and Casey Mears, and I was leading the race. And the reason why I had to draft with them is because I don't want to end up going in the back again. So I caught up with them moments ago, and I was finally leading the race. So I had to stick with them and not let them get around me. As I continued to lead the race, Jimmy Johnson, who led some laps earlier, has caught up with me and brought Kurt Busch in the 51 car along with him. As Casey Mears and Kevin Harvick were entering the racetrack on the back stretch behind us. Coming to the last laps of the race here, Carl Edwards tucked up right behind me, and I was still leading the race. And he was on my tail as I continued to lead the most laps of the race. With 2 laps to go here in the Budweiser Shootout at Daytona, Carl Edwards was running low on fuel, so he decided to make a pit stop before I reached to the white flag. And I was right behind Matt Kenseth, and I was in front of Scott Speed. And I was leading the last lap of the race by myself, because I had to do it to stay out and continue to lead the last lap of the race, as I stayed right behind Matt Kenseth in the Best Buy Ford Fusion. And I was coming out of turn 4, and I got the checkered flag to win the Budweiser Shootout, coming from last to first. There I am in the car.